y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is part 2 of how I found out I got pregnant. Enjoy. The lady comes in and she's like, if the test comes back positive, how do you think you're gonna react? And I'm like, I'm probably gonna freak out. Me saying this, not thinking that I'm actually gonna be pregnant. Okay, if you are pregnant, are you gonna keep it?
Yes, of course. If the test come back saying that I'm pregnant, then I made my bed. I'ma lay in it. I'ma man up and I'ma be a father. Be a father to this kid. Whatever. It ain't nothing.
She's like, okay, and I'm out of breath, y'all. She's like, okay. She gives me a little test, and she tells me she tells me the instructions. I go in the bathroom. So I pee in a little cup, and I take this little like drippy thing that they give me, and I do 3 drops of pee onto the test. And she told me to walk straight out. Don't look at the test, walk straight out. Me, of course I wasn't gonna do that. I stayed and I watched it for a little bit. And it said one line. So I'm happy as hell because I think I'm not pregnant. So I walk out, I go back and I sit in a little room and I'm so relieved. Like a whole weight has been lifted off of me. She comes in and she looks at me and she is like this. I think you might want to start freaking out. And I'm like, excuse me? What you mean? And she like, the test came back positive. You're pregnant. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, you sure? Like, can I see it? And I read the test, y'all. And it has 2 lines. And I'm like, is that the right test? Like, can I take it again? Like, that can't be right. And she's like, yeah, this is right. You're pregnant. And now, you know how, like, in movies when the world completely slows down? That's exactly what happened. My world completely slowed the fuck down. And I was terrified. So the first 2 people I text Sierra like, I'm fucking pregnant. And then I text his dad and I'm like, call me ASAP. Now, when I sent this, I did not think he was gonna call me at that second. But he called me as soon as I sent the text. And I wasn't mentally prepared to tell him, like, I'm pregnant. So I ignored, he called me twice, I ignored both of them. And the lady's talking to me, and she talking to me about, like, resources. She's telling me about all types of resources, everything that I can do, and all types of help that I can get on campus. And I'm listening to her. Like, I am listening to her, and I'm soaking in what she's saying. But on the inside, I'm like,
You're really pregnant. Like, somebody, like you of all people, you're pregnant. You cannot be pregnant. You're pregnant. You can't be pregnant. You're pregnant.
So she finished talking to me and I leave out, and I did not intentionally walk into the street, but I was just walking. Like, what are you doing? I just walked, and it wasn't a lot of cars coming. It was probably like 2 or 3, and I just walked straight out. And like, nobody honked. They kind of just slowed down because it's a college campus, so they're probably used to college kids just walking out into the street because that's what we do for some reason. But I walked all the way home. I didn't catch the bus back home. I just walked the whole way there. Well, to my dorm. And I get the first person, after I told Sierra, I called my other best friend, Amani. And her response honestly really, really helped me because she was excited. And I was really confused. Like, this is a terrible thing. Like, my life is over. Why are you excited? But that response, it kind of gave me hope. So I was really happy with her response because I wasn't expecting anyone to be happy. More of like a damn kid, like a damn girl type response. So it was nice. And so I make it all the way home. I make it all the way to my dorm, and I sit there and I'm trying to figure out how am I going to call this boy and tell him that I'm pregnant. And it's really hard. Like, if you ever been through this, it is not an easy thing telling somebody that you're pregnant, especially if you're not, like me and his dad, we're not in a relationship, so it's really hard. We're friends, but you know, not like really, really close friends. So I called him. I finally called him, and I told him, like, they estimated that I was 5 weeks because they based it off of my last period. So they said 5 weeks, although I knew I wasn't 5 weeks. I told him, and his response also really cushioned the blow. So his first words were, "It's not like I'm gonna run out on you or anything." And that was really comforting. I knew he wasn't because I already knew him. Like, I already knew him. But I don't know, it was just really comforting to hear him say that. And I didn't tell anyone I was pregnant for a minute. Like, my family, I hid it for a long time. Like, a really long time. I hid it until I was probably about... When I went, I had to go back the next week to figure out how many weeks I was. And when I went back the next week, I was only 4 weeks. So when I actually found out I was pregnant, I was 3. So when I went back, they did an ultrasound and they confirmed my pregnancy. And I didn't tell anyone that I was pregnant until probably 6 weeks, when I was 6 weeks pregnant. And I told my auntie. And then I didn't tell the rest of my family until I was like 2-3 months almost. So that is the end of my little story time and me finding out I was pregnant. If you like more of my story time videos and would like to hear more stories, I'm gonna do more. Like, I'm gonna do how I told my family, living on campus while pregnant, like things like that. I'll continue to do. But if you like this video, please thumbs it up and subscribe to my channel.